I'd like everybody gathered here at church and those who are joining us through live stream to just take a moment and close your eyes. Just close your eyes so that you're not seeing anything other than that darkness for just a minute. Now I'd like you to open your eyes and look around the church. If you're not with us here live, envision a church you've been in, perhaps this one. Start looking around. Look at all of the beautiful things we have here. I'm new here. This is a beautiful church. There's so many wonderful things. The pillars, the stations of the cross, the chandeliers. The first time I sat here, I looked up and saw those trumpets in the back, and I'm like, whoa, this is really amazing. And yet, if you think about it, all churches kind of look like that. There's something magnificent about them. If you go to an older church, the architecture, the design, you think to yourself, why is that? Why do we have that? Because you see, everything that's here, the entire design, everything, there's one focal point. Because our entire focal point is actually right over there at the Tabernacle. And over in the Tabernacle, we believe as Catholics is Jesus, reposed in there in the Blessed Sacrament. I'm going to ask you a trick question now, because we've heard this reading not too long ago, didn't we? Who was the world's first tabernacle? The answer is Mary. You see, Mary had Jesus inside her, in her womb. Jesus resides in there, in the tabernacle. So the world's first tabernacle was Mary, which is why not too long ago, the church recognized Mary and recognized the Immaculate Conception, because Mary was immaculately conceived, because she was going to house in her body, literally, the Son of God. Now, the angel Gabriel comes here in this particular passage. When we think of angels, we think of these beautiful pictures of these nice, friendly angels that seem to us to be something that if we saw an angel, we'd be like, wow, I feel at peace. When in reality, most of the time in Holy Scripture, when we hear of an angel arriving, what happens to people? They freak out. They're scared. Because angels are otherworldly beings, if you will. Well, the angel Gabriel was sent from God to Mary, and he says something very peculiar. He says, "Hail, full of grace, the Lord is with you." The words are very important here because he says, "Hail, full of grace." You see, Mary isn't just filled with grace. She's full of it to the very top of her head. She is completely full of grace. Well, what is grace? Grace is what we need in order to be sustained in our journey to keep our attention on God. This is an incredibly important passage for this particular Sunday. And the reason for that is because for the past 3 Sundays of Advent, our entire attention has been focused on Jesus coming, but his second coming. This Sunday, things are different. Our entire attention between now and on the 24th and the 25th of December, our attention is now placed on the nativity, the birth of Christ, when Christ himself, it's God coming down to heaven, but in a unique way. God came down to heaven as one of us. Shortly, we're going to be reciting the Nicene Creed, and then we say this passage, "and was incarnate of the Virgin Mary." And when we do that, we bow. Sometimes we can get confused and think we're bowing because of Mary. That's actually not what's happening. We're bowing because we're recognizing that Mary, yeah, she said yes, but more importantly, that God humbled himself to become a slave, to become one of us. Now, God could have come to the earth very triumphantly. He's God. He could have come and done anything, but he chose to do something unique. Think about that scene right in front of the altar, the Nativity. Jesus was born to a humble family, a simple woman, a simple virgin. But something was unique about her. Something was different. And as a result, her life's journey in following Jesus throughout his entire earthly ministry, she was with him all the way until the cross. Mary has become and continues to be the prime example for us for what we need to do to be the best humans we can be. This is a crazy, 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 crazy time we're living in. We wear these all the time. And as I've said to the students at Holy Family, Holy Name School not too long ago, if you think this is hard wearing all the time, try actually really indeed following the teachings of Jesus Christ all the time during this crazy time and others. It's not easy. So what do we need? We need grace. And where can we turn to find that grace? We can ask Mary for her prayers. Mary endured watching the very death of her son. But she also had faith that he would rise again on the third day. And so what we need to do during this Christmas time, as we get closer and closer to the actual Christmas season, is to consider that what we need to do is to continue to turn to Mary to help us get more filled with grace, to be more like her.